Yada. You ain't know? Listen, if you hear any noise or voice in the background, if you care to have the willpower, disregard it. Listen, so I'm re-recording this, and basically, so this is basically, I was basically having a time where, well, I seen some certain symbols in the sky and everything. You might see more of that, and so, here, hold on, I'm pulling up at the spot. Because the thing is, I'm like re-recording this, I'm like, wow, so, I'm like, okay, I made it. So, here's the thing, yo. So, I had my, I basically, I had my yoga mat and everything. Here, let me get a little bit more comfy. All right, I got my little yoga mat, just, so here's the thing. So, I was like, basically, listen, you might hear something about certain, species and everything. You might hear more talk about, aliens and everything like that, okay? So, I, do you recall that first prayer that you had with the Holy Spirit? Regardless whether you was going to be a Christian, Muslim, Jew, Buddhist type of ordeal, like, when you was getting inside those, specific things. Do you remember that first prayer that you had? It's that real heartfelt, you feel me? Because I recall back in the day, when I prayed to the Most High, and I basically, I had a conversation. Well, in a sense, when I was praying, I said, if you would like me to be a Christian, if you really would like me to be a Christian, I will move mountains, and I remember all and I just asked for wisdom and discernment, and I recall, like, it was years later, and I remember this. I believe it might have been, basically I was like in Job Corps. I was in Job Corps or like college, because there's the thing with believing, something and actually knowing something, So, if you know, you know. So here's the thing, I remember years later, this, and I remember I was getting in like to tarot, get more into tarot channels, psychic, like, psychic channels and little stuff like that. Like, I'm talking about like on YT and like TK. And I recall, like, basically there was a time where like there was a channel that literally like was saying like, this is like for somebody that prayed for wisdom and discernment. It was on one of the channels. I ain't paid for this channel. I ain't paid for it. I was, and it really was heartfelt that like the universe, the Holy Spirit let me know that the Holy Spirit answered my prayer. I got that prayer answered, So, I've been gifted, basically that's what I got. I got wisdom and discernment. So I'm gonna have a long life, and there's, and this is a time where individuals are reaping basically what they have sown, So do you recall that first prayer, that genuine prayer that you had with the Holy Spirit, with the Most High, and you ain't put no name on it, you feel me? It's just your heart knew who you were talking to. That, do you know how that, you feel me? Because I know I didn't ask, I didn't pray for like nothing about like, enemies being footstool or hurting nobody. I ain't say none of that. I ain't, so do y'all remember y'all prayer? You feel me? So the thing is, these are times where you don't hide secrets, because like secrets come to me. The thing is, secrets come to me. You feel me? I'm a type of person, like, you feel me? I'll raise my voice in a haunted house. I have a whole blowhorn in a haunted house and let it off. You feel me? And I tell you, don't tell me to be quiet. You feel me? I let you know, don't tell me to be quiet. Why? You feel me? It ain't nothing. Ain't no secret. So like I'm that type. Like, it don't matter. Like, type of raise my voice. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm telling you, like, you feel me? It just, yeah. So, I don't give where you say we at. You feel me? It'd be nighttime. You feel me? It's just like it's time and the place. So So I was just saying, like, do y'all recall them times, because these times, you feel me, is coming. It's like the times that's coming. It's like we're reaping what we have sown. You feel me? Spiritually, it's coming to us. The spiritual, and it's coming into form from the formless. It's like, whoa, what? So it was just so beautiful that the universe reached out to me, and let me know, like, I have discernment, I have wisdom, and with wisdom comes experience. You get wisdom through experience and stuff like that. And then, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's levels of heaven. When you get into like heaven and stuff like that, you gonna see things that are not really like. You gonna see things that are most likely the opposite of that. You feel me? When you get an eye-opening experience, it's like when you ask to wake up, you gonna see things. You gonna see the ones that are asleep. You feel me? You probably gonna see ones that worship ignorance. You feel me? Which people may call like satanic or demonic, or you feel me? You might see people that worship that. Some of them churches, they do that, and they're like that. Religion is a whole cult. They're a cult. You feel me? And you feel me? And they want you to worship something outside yourself, and they don't want you to ask no questions. You feel me? So the thing is, certain ones don't want you to have critical thinking. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just know coming in 2027, you're going to hear more about spacecrafts and everything. And just recall, do you remember that first prayer that you prayed to the Holy Spirit about? Was it answered? Do you know how it was answered? And that's all. So I love y'all. And I went to the store and got me some juice, because I'm like, bruh, I'm about to get me some juice, because it's about that time. Yeah, to me, like, you just don't get it. Y'all keep worried about the wrong things. That's the only part. Because each day, like, as seconds keep counting and keep going. Well, the thing is, as seconds keep continuing, like, I get more youthful. You feel me? That's why I keep working out and do your meditation. I do meditation and coming out, because coming outdoors, it rejuvenates my energy. You feel me? I actually, like, my energy comes back real quick, and then meditations rejuvenate my energy real quick. So so you got to know these energies. You got ones that don't want to know about it. Okay, so you got to know, like, the more ones in the lower realm can't see the higher realm. You feel me? They can't see the higher realm, so they don't see things how I see them. You feel me? It's all about how big your degree of consciousness is, how much you're aware of your surroundings. That's what awareness and a higher degree of consciousness is, being aware of your surroundings. Okay, so the ones that are on lower degrees of consciousness have a lower degree of consciousness, basically a lower degree of awareness. They can't see what's higher. They can't see higher. However, the higher can see them. So we see things from two different perspectives. However, we're all the universe is one single being. Even though if some would like to experience separation, so that's on them. Some have chosen a bitter route, and their seeds that they have sown are showing that. So we just cut them off. You don't get none of this good energy, because I'm getting better, and I'm getting better, and I continue to get better, because that's the seeds I have sown. So we're all getting what we have put out. Okay, some things are going to become easier for some of us, and it's not going to take us as much time as it has taken others. So certain ones of us, we prevail where others have failed. So somebody say, oh, they couldn't do something. It's like, well, you couldn't. You feel me? I guarantee I know a way. You feel me? So that's about it. All right, I love y'all. Find something safe doing. Stay accountable.